Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Our first top story this evening, new developments surrounding the death of a Punta Gorda woman killed during a citizen training academy.
The state attorney's office announcing today the Punta Gorda police officer who fired the fatal shot and the police chief are now both charged in this case. Officer Lee Cowell is charged with 1 count of manslaughter with a firearm. Punta Gorda Police Chief Tom Lewis is charged with 1 count of culpable negligence. The state attorney's office says the charges are the result of an in-depth investigation into the death of Mary Knowlton. Last August, the 73-year-old was taking part in a training exercise where officers were explaining how they respond to armed burglaries. Officer Cole was conducting the training and shot Knowlton. The city council later agreed to settle with Knowlton's family for about $2 million.
Now to a trial that is raising serious questions about Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Attorneys for a retired police captain accused of shooting and killing a man in a movie theater are using the law as the basis for their defense. Authorities say 74-year-old Curtis Reeves fatally shot 43-year-old Chad Olson at a Wesley Chapel movie theater 3 years ago. Because he was upset, Olson was texting during the previews. But Reeves's attorneys say Olson threw his phone at him and some popcorn. And in self-defense, Reeves took out a weapon and fired a single shot. If the judge rules Stand Your Ground does apply in this case, then Reeves cannot be tried for murder.
That case is now raising questions about when the Stand Your Ground law is applicable. ABC 7's Kate Flexter joins us now with a legal look at this case and how it could set a precedent for future cases. Kate?
Thanks, Scott. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not that person believes their life was threatened. And as we found out today, that may leave room for interpretation.
Do you regret what happened?
At 74 years old, retired Tampa cop Curtis Reeves faces charges of murder for shooting and killing a man following an argument in a movie theater. The defense arguing Reeves was in poor health, felt threatened, and was simply standing his ground.
He reasonably believed that the threat was imminent and that using deadly force was necessary.
The Stand Your Ground law allows people to use deadly force when they fear death or great bodily harm. Criminal defense attorney Jeff Young says that does leave some room for interpretation.
It is sort of what they call a subjective view. In other words, it's in the mind of the shooter as to whether they are in reasonable fear.
But he says the law needs that flexibility since each case comes with unique circumstances.
The dark room, the age of the people, the size of the people, you have to look at all of it and determine on a case-by-case basis, was that person in reasonable fear to where they needed to use that force.
For Carol Resigno, president of the Sarasota chapter for the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence,
threatened is such a wide-ranging word.
Her concern is the law leaves too much room for interpretation.
He could have yelled at him, punched him, asked other people to help him out. But when you have a gun in that setting at all, the gun can get used.
Some worry if Reeves successfully uses the Stand Your Ground defense, it could set the precedent for future cases. But Young says that's unlikely.
Could they open up a Pandora's box of, well, now everybody's going to be shooting a gun because they get a dirty look? I mean, that's always going to be the argument from the other side, but that's why the law puts the power in the hands of the judge to determine all of those facts and figure out whether it was reasonable or not.
This comes as the State House is considering shifting the burden of proof in Stand Your Ground cases from the person who pulled the trigger instead to the prosecution. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kate. A 7-year-old boy is recovering at All Children's Hospital after his family dog attacked him. Palmetto police were called to a home on 14th Street yesterday evening by the boy's mother. Police say the boy was playing inside the home when the dog attacked him. The boy was flown to All Children's Hospital in St. Pete. He is expected to make a full recovery. The dog, a Staffordshire Terrier mix, was taken by Manatee County Animal Services and will be held in a mandatory 10-day quarantine. No further decision has been made.
There's a push in Florida to change what information people are forced to disclose when applying for a job. Lawmakers will consider a bill that prevent employers from inquiring about job applicants' criminal conviction histories on job applications in an effort to what's called ban the box. Supporters of the bill say the stigma of a felony conviction prevents many people from ever getting a first interview for a job, and it can really hinder their chance of getting meaningful work. The bill's sponsor says employers have a right to know about their employees' past, but they should ask them about it face to face.
All we're asking is that you remove it from the application process,
call that individual in for a fair interview process, and then you have the opportunity to ask that question. Again, allow that individual, give them a shot.
The proposal has not been heard yet by any House committee. The legislative session begins on March 7th.
Looks like the Suncoast will soon have a water taxi service. The Sarasota City Commission is unanimously approving a permit for the boat that will take riders between Sarasota and Bradenton Beach. And as ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo tells us, the city and local water taxi company are now looking at possible destinations.
Well, Scott and Haley, there's a chance that the water taxi will operate right here at Centennial Park. And at $12.50 a pop for a round-trip ticket, the general manager of the taxi service is banking that this route is just the beginning. For some tourists, they're looking forward to Sarasota's newest water taxi service to start. When asked if they would take advantage,
absolutely. Yep, and probably often.
Bill O'Donnell has been visiting Sarasota for 20 years and wondering why this wasn't thought of sooner.
I think it's a great idea. It'll eliminate a lot of traffic going through St. Armand Circle and down Longboat Key.
The general manager of Paradise Boat Tours, Sherman Baldwin, agrees. While snowbirds take the blame for much of the traffic, his goal is to alleviate stress on roads, making it easier for residents.
That's why our focus is less on the tourists and more on the average, everyday, year-round resident of the area that wants to commute to work via this water taxi.
And those commuting may benefit.
So employers are very interested in this, and they're going to incentivize their employees to use it as a commuter alternative transportation program.
The city now looking at 3 possible destinations, including Marina Jack and O'Leary's Tiki Bar, while Baldwin meets with Sarasota Bayfront 2020, a long-term planning organization.
We want to work with them as they move towards 2020 with their plans. We want to be part of those plans.
Now that the approval is in place, Baldwin says he's just ready to push forward.
We have the assets, we have the boats ready to put into service. We're Coast Guard compliant. We have everything ready to go. So this is the last part of probably 150 pieces that had to fall together to make this a reality. And soon we'll be going all over Southwest Florida via boats.
Once there's a lease signed, the company is looking at about a month to start ferry services. Reporting in Sarasota, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Dwayne. And it does seem like this is long overdue.
Yep. With all the water around, yeah, we should use it more, definitely like that. And there was water falling from the sky, and a lot of it in some areas. Let's get more on that with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yes, some pretty impressive rainfall amounts, especially inland areas today, as a line set up, kind of rotating and pinwheeling around this area of low pressure in the northeast Gulf of Mexico. It's still there. What's happening, though, is you'll see most of the moisture now east of the low, and that's a result of some drier air that's kind of entrained in the system right now. That heavy rainfall that moved through, that dumped up to about 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches of rainfall, is now into Hillsborough County and into Polk County, and still some heavier showers in northwestern portions of DeSoto and now down south of Venice into Inglewood. That activity pushing off to the east. Some light rainfall up near Nokomis and Venice right now. Siesta Key had a little bit of a brief shower just about a half hour ago that has since moved out. I mentioned that one swath of rain that you can see right there, over 1 inch and up to nearly 2 inches just to the northwest of Northport and south of Venice, over 1.5 inches of rain. With this shower activity will continue throughout the evening, on again and off again, and then some clearing conditions are expected. Well, more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to a thrilling discovery in space. For the first time, astronomers have discovered 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting a nearby star, and these new worlds could hold life. NASA and a Belgian-led research team made the announcement today. This cluster of planets is 40 light years away in the constellation Aquarius. They circle tightly around a dim dwarf star that's barely the size of Jupiter. 3 of these planets are so-called habitable zones where water and possibly life might exist, and the others are right on the doorstep. But scientists say they need to study the atmospheres before determining whether these planets could support life.
The fact that there are worlds out there, just like the Earth, that have some commonalities with the Earth, and you could imagine these worlds. It's just only happening right now. These questions about are we alone are being answered as we speak in this decade and the next decades.
Last spring, a university in Belgium reported finding 3 planets around the star, and now that count is up to 7, and there could be even more.
A computer glitch is delaying a space mission. SpaceX's unmanned supply ship, the Dragon, was on the way to the International Space Station to drop off a shipment. But when it was about a mile away from the orbiting outpost, a problem cropped up in the GPS system. So the approach was canceled. SpaceX launched the Dragon capsule on Sunday from Kennedy Space Center. The company says it will make another delivery attempt tomorrow morning.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, revoking the rules on transgender bathrooms, what the Trump administration may change with a controversial decision made during the Obama administration.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast after the rain, as you see the drops there on our camera. Plus, what could be the reason for your tummy troubles? How a certain additive in popular foods could be hurting your digestive system.
A day every day for the rest of my life. Day 1, bought a pony, we're best buds. Day 7, this is crazy! Another day, another grand. This one's on me. Then Mom said, better save some. And another grand, share the love. I don't even play this thing, but I got a bunch. And another grand, and another grand, another grand, another grand. Let's do it again tomorrow.
With a prize of $1,000 a day for life, the new Cash for Life draw game is your ticket to a grand day every day.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works in contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more.
The 4th Annual St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, February 25th and 26th at North Straub Park in St. Petersburg.
Bring your love and appreciation of art to the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get all the safety and security of a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Patriot for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
President Trump's new immigration guidelines are putting millions of undocumented immigrants on notice.
The memos released by the Trump administration outline a plan to detain and deport undocumented immigrants and add more than 15,000 immigration, border patrol, and customs agents. But as ABC's Stephanie Ramos tells us, the White House says mass deportation is not the goal.
Today, President Trump meets with his Secretary of State, who's set to travel to Mexico amid Trump's new immigration crackdown, which is stirring up reaction from all sides.
It is about time. The new guidelines don't actually change any existing laws.
In some states along the U.S.-Mexico border, outrage. Some immigrants are petrified of being split up from their families. This woman in Los Angeles preparing her daughters in case she and her husband are deported.
They have to stay here. They have to live here, and they don't have to be worried for us.
It was a Trump campaign promise from the start.
We will end illegal immigration.
These new rules, issued by the Department of Homeland Security, put the majority of the country's 11 million undocumented immigrants at risk of deportation. Immigration and Border Patrol agents ordered to deport anyone convicted of any criminal offense. That includes crimes like driving without a license. Under President Obama, the target was serious criminals. However, the administration says the new rules do not affect dreamers, those brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
The focus continues to be that 800,000 or 900,000 that have already had an order to have them removed and get them processed through in a way that continues to keep America safe.
And as for the new travel ban, the administration decided to dump the old one after it was blocked by the courts. A senior advisor confirms the new travel ban will have the same basic policies impacting the same 7 predominantly Muslim countries. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Another controversy surrounding President Trump. A government official says the Trump administration will revoke guidelines that say transgender students should be allowed to use bathrooms and locker rooms matching their chosen gender identity. The decision would reverse an Obama-era directive issued in May. It required public schools to grant bathroom access even if student records differ or others are uncomfortable. And a rainy day here in the Suncoast. You know, and what I liked about it, Bob, it wasn't that heavy where it was just running off.
Right,
you know, it was kind of soaking in today.
Yeah, the ground could use it too, just kind of like a sponge. It just absorbs it. We had over an inch and a half in some areas. Not everyone got the beneficial rains as far as that goes, but it's around. There's still some showers in the forecast too through this evening and tomorrow morning. As we look at the Lakewood Ranch webcam from this morning, you'll notice that the lens gets wet every once in a while. We had periodic showers near the coast, producing up to a ½ inch to almost an inch in some spotty areas here right along the immediate coastline. A little bit of sunshine trying to peek out there. And the last frame, you can see some light raindrops there on the lens. This area of low pressure, very broad area of low pressure. You can see the center is right about there and the actual winds rotating around it in a counterclockwise fashion in the northern hemisphere, indicating it is a low. And notice all the rain is mainly east of the center. And that's a result of some very dry air that's kind of bottled up out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Had not that been there, we'd be seeing a lot more storms out here in the Gulf moving onshore. It could be a situation where we could see up to 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, but that's not going to be the case. Notice this line moves in and weakens. That's a result of that drier air kind of rotating around that area of low pressure, but still some very heavy rainfall right there into central Sarasota and into Manatee counties. Now that dry air that you see right here on the dry scale continues to be out here in the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, it stretches all the way out toward Texas, and it looks like this is going to eventually move into our area and create a beautiful weekend for us ahead. Now, currently, it's a little bit of sunshine out there, but mainly cloudy skies. 68 degrees, dew point temperature is at 59. Now, the pressure 2966, that's low because of that area of low pressure. That will be changing slowly tomorrow as it rises. Winds are light out of the south at 3 miles an hour. And as far as temperatures go, there's not a big drop. We don't see a cold front sliding through. This is just an area of low pressure. We'll see some northwest winds, which will cool things down just a little bit, but not extremely cold. 66 in Orlando, 68 in Sarasota, 64 now. In Jacksonville, it's 75 in Key West. The Gulf water temperature at 71 degrees. And temperatures across the region, upper 60s for the most part, 71 in Punta Gorda and 67 in Mayaca City, Bradenton at 68 and 67 in Venice and Inglewood. Well, those winds I mentioned will start to come out of the northwest tomorrow, north to northwest, and we'll start things off still in the upper 50s to low 60s for lows. And the winds will pick up a little bit in the afternoon, so boaters beware. Those winds will be out of the north and northwest at around 15. Well, here's the forecast. As we see, the low pressure slowly works across the state, but notice at 8 a.m. still indicating a few spotty showers around. It's not going to be a rain out by any stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 lone showers in the morning. And eventually, as we get to the afternoon, those showers wind down, the sunshine throughout most of the day, and then this area of low pressure will still kick off to the east and southeast, and eventually we look for a beautiful day on Friday with lots of sunshine and temperatures will warm. There's a weak cold front that is expected to move through over the weekend. Cold front will really have no impact in terms of rainfall, maybe a little increase in cloudiness and slightly cooler temperatures. It's not a strong cold front at all. Well, over the central U.S., all is quiet. The big story southeast with this storm over Florida, getting some beneficial rains right now. And you can see the moisture moving onshore into California. Not as much, thankfully, but they're not over with the rain because there's more storms set up on the way. And as far as we're concerned, this activity is now winding down over parts of California, although some light showers lingering there. For boaters, it looks like this. For Thursday, winds out of the north-northwest. We'll have some clouds and showers in the morning. Seas still running 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The tide's upcoming. High tide will be at 9:11 and another one at 12:08 tomorrow just after noon. Sunset at 6:27. A few showers this evening. The rain chance at 40%. That's up until about 2 a.m. and then it slackens down to about 30% in the morning. And then for tomorrow, mostly sunny by midday, 75 for your high. Look for the clouds in the morning, though. Northwest winds 5, picking up to 15 in the afternoon. The extended forecast is calling for delightful weather on Friday. Look at that, 80 degrees. A weak cold front Saturday night cools things down. Still above average on Sunday at 74. And then it stays warm and sunny right through Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, drivers are seeing some congestion in the southbound lanes along Interstate 75. This is near Bee Ridge Road. Typically it's northbound, but tonight southbound. And then near Venice, some slowdowns on US 41 based on some accident earlier in that area along 41 in the southbound lanes. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, a possible culprit of your stomach troubles. Researchers at Binghamton University in New York found chronic exposure to titanium dioxide, which is an additive present in chewing gum, candy, and bread, changed digestive cell structure and function. The study suggests that frequent consumption of this additive may lead to less nutrient absorption, impaired digestive function, and a slower metabolism. Chronic exposure also led to inflammation, which is tied to chronic diseases such as cancer and heart disease. Although researchers haven't yet replicated the study in humans with food products, authors did test 89 common items, including mayonnaise and Twinkies, and found that they all contained titanium dioxide. Could we have an anti-aging antidote? In a study published in the journal Aging, researchers found that in genetically altered mice, an artificial antioxidant called SKQ1 helps slow the aging in the mitochondria area of cells. The mice that were not treated with SKQ1 became thinner, lost their hair, and suffered from osteoporosis-related spinal curvature. Meanwhile, the mice treated with this antioxidant appeared to at least partially be protected from those effects. Some had no signs of aging. The antioxidant drug has passed phase 2 clinical trials and is already available in eye drop form in Russia. Are you willing to get bitten by mosquitoes for the sake of science? The National Institutes of Health recruiting volunteers for a safety study of an experimental vaccine. Rather than separate vaccines against Zika or other mosquito-borne diseases, this new approach aims to protect against multiple infections by triggering the immune system to rev up in response to the bite itself. Researchers will give volunteers either a vaccine or a dummy shot, and then the volunteers must return later in the NIH hospital in Maryland to be bitten by mosquitoes through a special netted device. The mosquitoes are infection-free. Researchers will be tracking the volunteers' immune responses. Coming up, the discovery of a new species of frog. They're not only as cute as a button, they're about the size of one too. Plus, a Mardi Gras flash mob catching some attention on social media, not just for the catchy songs and dance moves.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
How hard is it to stop a stroke? It is challenging, it is difficult, and every second counts. A comprehensive stroke center gives the patient a better chance to walk out with minimal to no disability. We are able to offer treatments above and beyond the standard 3 hours after the onset of a stroke. A place like Sarasota Memorial Hospital really increases those chances of giving back a better quality of life.
Contemporary Cabinetry and Closet Concepts. Our strength is in building a relationship with our clients. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. When you organize your home, you simplify your life. Call today for a free in-home consultation or visit the web at contemporarycabinetry.srq.com.
It's the granddaddy of them all, the 89th Annual Arcadia All-Florida Championship Rodeo. March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. The Arcadia Rodeo Association is proud to present this PRCA-sanctioned event featuring some of the world's best bull, bronc, and bareback riding, roping, barrel racing, and steer wrestling. For the little wranglers, there's a calf scramble and mutton busting. Gates open at 11 each day. For tickets, visit arcadiarodeo.com or call 800-749-7633. It's rodeo at its finest. Don't miss the 89th All-Florida Championship Rodeo, March 9th through 12th.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Some tense moments in the nation's capital as a fiery rescue is caught on camera.
Police officers in Washington, D.C. recently responded to a call of a vehicle fire along a city roadway. The vehicle had apparently hit a pole and burst into flames. When officers realized the driver was still inside, the cops snapped into action and broke the window. They then worked to free the man from his seatbelt. The driver was pulled to safety and was treated and released. No one else was inside the car.
A new species of frogs have been discovered in India, and they're pretty small, as you can see. So small they can fit comfortably on a coin or a thumbnail. Researchers say 7 new species were found after 5 years of searching at a mountain range in southwestern India. But the lead researcher warns that the future of these newly discovered frogs are already in doubt due to what he calls considerable threats. He also says these frogs need to be saved as soon as possible.
Video of a fun Mardi Gras flash mob is making the rounds on social media, but not because of the men's dance skills. While partying at a parade in Galveston, Texas, John Galloway recruited some of his friends to pull off a flash mob dance. The crowd then cheered, and then the song changed from Uptown Funk to Marry You, and he emerged from the formation with a ring in his hand and proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes, and the party continued.
Wow, that took some planning.
That took a lot of planning. Yeah. But good job.
And
Flash mobs live on. And she said yes. Yes.
Would have been bad.
Right, that would have been pretty embarrassing. Still to come on your Suncoast News, help for homeless veterans on the Suncoast.
How one local organization is working to get those vets into a better situation. Details in an ABC 7 special report coming up.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works in contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more.
The 4th Annual St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, February 25th and 26th at North Straub Park in St. Petersburg.
Bring your love and appreciation of art to the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.